If you like the look of what high-end retailers have to offer, but your wallet doesn't, buckle up for today's show. I've got 3 easy spring DIY ideas that scream high-end decor without the hefty price tag. Welcome to the Chic Show. For this project, I'm using these bunny molds that I got from Amazon. I have some resin mixed up that I'm pouring in each one, but I'm only using one of these. This is the quick cast resin, so it's set up really quickly, and here's the one that I'm using. It's these little bunny ears with the bow. I'm going to be painting the bow pink and leaving the ears white. For the next part, I'm using this random piece of plastic. I don't know what it was from, but I'm going to cut off this end and make it into just a ring. I used my knife to make a hole there, and then I used my little scissors just to cut the rest off. Now I'm going to give the ring a coat of white chalk paint so that it will blend in with the ears. Now I'm going to attach the ring to the back of the ears using Tight Bond. Once that completely dries, we have a cute little candle ring for Easter. For this DIY, I'm going to upcycle this piece that I thrifted. First, I'm going to give it a coat of Agave by Waverly. I'm only painting agave around the edges. The edges are dry, I'm going to give the top a coat of white chalk paint. I'm being careful not to get the white onto the agave on the sides, but this did actually take 2 good coats to cover. After the second coat was dry, I used my finger sander and sanded around the edges. This is a napkin that I found at TJ Maxx, and there are 4 quadrants, of course, so you could actually do 4 different projects. I'm just using one of these, and I am separating the plies. You won't believe how beautiful this turns out. It actually looks like an oil painting. I trimmed around the wings a little bit so that it would fit perfectly onto the wood box. I'm going to apply a generous coat of Mod Podge onto the box, and then I'm going to let it dry completely. Now that the Mod Podge is dry, I'm going to place my butterfly down onto the wood box, and I'm going to cover it with a piece of Teflon paper and use the iron-on method to adhere it. Once it cools, I will go ahead and give it another coat of Mod Podge on the top. Once the Mod Podge was dry, I used a little bit of gold leaf rub and buff around the edges of the picture and in those orange places on the butterfly. If you look closely, the texture looks a lot like an oil painting, and I absolutely love this piece. In fact, my daughter has already claimed it. have one last napkin decoupage for you. Using this little piece from Dollar General. It's actually a tile, and I had already painted on one side of it, so I'm taking it out and I'm going to paint over it again with white chalk paint. This is a napkin that I got at Home Goods, and I just love the little bunny, so I am removing 2 of the plies, so we're only using that top ply and only 1 quadrant of the napkin. I used some water and a paintbrush and just went around the edges of the bunny so that it would not have just a clean line. It will blend in a little bit better if I tear the edges once it's wet. Now I'm going to add a healthy coat of Mod Podge to the tile. I am using the wet method this time because I wasn't sure how the tile would take the heat of an iron. So I'm going to go ahead and place my bunny down, and I'm going to smooth it out with a little brayer, and once it dries I'll sand away any excess paper. I am going to give it another coat of Mod Podge on the top. Now that I have that excess paper sanded away, I'm going to make sure it fits down into my frame, and then I'll add some hot glue and replace it. I wanted to add something to this little blank space at the top right, so I'm using some of my stamps, and I'm just going to stamp the word hop. I love the simplicity of this piece, and it works perfectly for spring and Easter both. If you've enjoyed this high-end spring decor video, give me a shout out in the comments and smash that thumbs up button. And while you're here, why not join the Chic family by subscribing? It's free and there's no obligation for you at all. YouTube just notifies you when I upload a new video each time. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.